pick your voice choice. Like, you have a choice.
I'm not sugarcoating it. It's hard. You have to find your balance to it.
Committed to learning your why and then protecting that.
It's how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Make sure you communicate what you're doing and why you're doing it and get that buy-in. And so
It's for you, Dave. You ready for this?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
So he had asked about adversity, struggle, how you overcome that. And I didn't hear quite from you. If you were to say last year, what would you say was one of your biggest struggles that you overcame, or something? Because, you know, people look at you and you're like the mortgage coach. Like you're also
The guy. Yeah.
the example I give to a lot of my clients
Teflon
of like,
Don.
do what Dave does with his Facebook group. If you would just create your own community, like your tribe of people. But I don't know if everyone knows the inside of you that helps you be who you are, which I love to death, obviously. So I'm going to put you on the spot. What was something
Get it,
that you
girl. I love
struggled
it.
with last year that we don't know about that you had to overcome?
You don't have to get like deep, but like
Or you could. It's
No
okay.
pressure.
Either way.
I know you're trying to get me to relive.
No,
The-
it can be last year. It doesn't have to be. Or if
Yeah.
you want to share something from your past, you can. But this is a way for people to know, like, who's Dave? Like, how did you become this awesome
That's
guy?
obviously a much bolder question, but I think the thing that was a big struggle last year and still a struggle this year, and something that is just presence. I mean, even like this is a long form communication, and to just, you know, truly be present, and when you're talking, listen to you and not be thinking about other things is a constant struggle, you know, that I have. And again, I am ADD. Like,
Do you know what Adderall
real deal.
is?
Yeah,
I'm just
not
kidding.
taking it. I'm not taking it.
I'm just kidding.
When I
Just kidding.
was in grade school, they made me take
Ritalin.
Ritalin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was the kind of kid where not only did I have to go up to the teacher and, you know, get my pill, I had to like prove that I took it, which, by the way, was not a very good experience. I don't think they do that to kids anymore.
No.
I hope not.
they would
Yeah.
do that in the classroom.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was in third grade. You know, there was me and another kid. You know, we'd have to go up, and everybody knew it was going down, or at least we thought. But yeah, presence, and obviously for my family. You know, like I do think in business, when I'm interviewing someone, I'm present. I mean, it's pretty rare that when I'm doing, you know, something for our YouTube channel that, I mean, I might be multitasking because I'm, you know, answering a question on Facebook, but I'm all about how to make that half hour or that hour pure gold, pure value, and where is the value, which is probably one of the reasons why I love him. It's good therapy. But yeah, I struggle with presence, you know, when I'm with family members and not thinking about work, or, you know, not thinking about what I'm going to do next. And that's a constant struggle.
What about you, Todd?
I mean, I think we all struggle with that, right? I mean, I think that's the big challenge we have of being present. There's a great book out there, forgot who wrote it, but it's called The Precious Present. And someone had given it to my dad, who gave it to me. I think it's Spencer Johnson, who's done a bunch of it's an easy book. You can read it like in an hour, but it's a good book to share with anyone who maybe struggles with that. And I think that's how we all are. I think on our call this morning with Jonathan Roach, he said that Jim Rohn had said, like, while we're at work, we're thinking about being at home, and while we're at home, we're thinking about being at work. And I think, you know, you said something that resonated with me earlier about how you felt that you were providing for your family, right? I put work first, and I wanted to provide. And it was funny for me when I got coaching, that was the biggest thing that helped me, had probably saved my marriage at the time, because I thought I was getting up, going in the office at 6. I was working hard. I came home at 5, had dinner with my wife, had dinner with the kids, read the kids' books, put them to bed. And then I worked late. I was studying. I was in Lone Toolbox and, you know, doing these things. And I thought I was doing the right thing because I was providing for my family, but I wasn't communicating to my wife what I was doing and why I was doing it. And she didn't get the aha until she actually came to work with me. I just challenged her for 90 days. I just need some help. And you know, rebuilding the business, financial crisis was crushing us. And she was a stay-at-home mom, and she was an attorney, so she could go back and make good money. And I'm like, oh, you know, come help me for a few days, please. And she's like, now I get it, right? If I'd given her that glimpse in and let her actually understand what I was doing, why I was working hard, and had her, share in with me on what the experience was. And so I would say if you're a real estate agent or a loan officer, and whether you're married for 1 year, not married, or for me now it's 30, almost 32 years, is make sure you communicate what you're doing and why you're doing it and get that buy-in. And so it reminded me of when rates dropped last year, and we had you on a mortgage coach call, and you said, well, I'm doing purchases during the day and I'm doing refinances at night, right? And it sounded to me, I took away from it that you had gotten buy-in at this point from your husband, that like your family knew you were doing it. And I think that was one of my other takeaways from COVID was, we were blessed in the mortgage business with this gift of rates and more business than we could do. But it put a lot of stress on us, right? We were in the fire. Like you had a group, and we didn't, I think the mortgage coach group was kind of my family where we all had people to talk to, but there's so many people who hadn't heard from us, our families hadn't heard from us. And we're going to be in a year that's going to be another hard year. So I would say, do what you're doing, Ryan. If you're, find a group like he's got, if you don't have a group to talk to and ask questions and, share with, make sure you're communicating with your family, get their buy-in on what you're doing and why. And then, you mentioned mental health earlier. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who struggle with mental health, and, reach out and get help. I mean, ask somebody, reach out to one of us. I mean, I'm certainly no expert on it, but ultimately then I think that there's so many people who need to hear from us and hear from you guys. And I think the struggle's great. I thought it was a great question, because I think people, right, we all see how great you guys are, and we all, strive to be like you, and to know that everything's not perfect is really helpful. But there's always all those takeaways we get. And it's just funny to me every single time I get off a conversation where we're interviewing any of you, just notes after notes and action plans after action plans. And they're not always about the things that other people think. It's these little takeaways that, let me communicate with my family, because I think everyone's trying to do what you talked about, provide for them. And in the end, they also want to know that you're there for them and why you're doing it.
Yeah. And I think if you're a manager or regional manager or anything like that listening to this, even if it's your top producer, you need to check in on their mental health, not just on their production numbers, so that you don't feel like you're just a number. Like, you need to just check in and say, hey, how are you doing?
How are you? It's
how
easy
is your
question.
team doing? Yeah.
Because everybody needs that. Not just the 10 million, but the
Even the ones at
$200
the
million.
top,
Like
yeah.
everybody needs that check.
Just because it's like they associate the financial, they're making so much money, they have to be so
Exactly.
happy. But in 2020, when I was like, I would pay for sleep right now. I have so much money and I cannot pay for sleep. I had my husband helping me with title orders and appraisal orders because we were so slammed. I mean, I need to hear from somebody in management or upper management that's like, hey, I know you're writing a lot of loans, but it ain't easy because you're doubled your production with the same crew. So what do you think's happening?
Yep.
Do you need something? Can I send you pizza?
Yep.
You could send me Skittles and I would, So
I remember even when I was in your office and I was helping you pull in some credit apps, and I was like, gosh, must be nice, because there's clients that I hear from, they're like, I would love to just get an app a day. And here she was getting like 20 apps a day. And so I just was like, wow, must be not, like the money must be great. And she's like, but is it? Because if I try to go on vacation or try to be at a birthday party, or it's a constant, so you can have all the money in the world, but if you can't have the time, like that's where I actually heard a video, Dan, that you posted, I think it was 2020, it was in LinkedIn, where you had said you're not taking on every possible maybe refi or loan, like you were protecting from putting yourself in the fire. I think it was 2020.
I protected my team.
Yeah.
We drew the line. It's 60 loans a month.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I mean, could we have done 75? Could I have put up your guys' numbers? Possibly. Never worked more than 50 hours a week. And we never funded more than 65 loans a month.
That's what it was.
Where we had to draw the line. And because for me, it wasn't about the money we were making or the number of loans that we could write. I felt a sense of responsibility. All of our past clients who were reaching out to us, who were wanting to capitalize, like that's where I couldn't sleep at night, because I'm like, this is life-changing savings for people.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that anxiety. So we drew the line that was like, if you were not a Nerd Club alum, I was not doing your refi.
Wow.
Because we
Those are
couldn't.
great strategies from both.
There was,
sides.
when you entered the online application to fill out a refi, you had to have the code to complete the refi app, because I would not entertain a refi.
That's conviction, though. That's you guys. That's
amazing.
protecting people. And I love your question to ask people, are you okay? But I think the biggest thing is that where I failed initially was I'd say, are you okay? And people would say yes. And I didn't say, are you really okay?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
really like, okay. Like I, and that would be a thing, but I love it. You guys protected yourselves, you protected your team.
Teams. Protect the team.
That's huge.
Or if you
Yeah.
see producers retracting, that doesn't mean that you just leave them alone. Like if I'm not as vocal on the monthly calls that we do, or I'm not participating in the private company Facebook group, if you see your producers retracting, that's not a time to be like, oh, they're busy, I'm just going to let them be. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That's the time to be like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
I know how production's going. Obviously, you can see the numbers, but like, how is it going for you? Better yet, how's your team doing? Because I'm now having to manage them and their stress levels and them being overworked, So that's just, Dan doesn't walk around with a sign on his head saying, yes, I'm doing this mortgage coach video for you guys today, but I just had a week and a day. But everybody idolizes Dan and he'll show up. You'll never know it.
We had a conversation with Todd Duncan. I think it was like August. And, with all the people that he helps coach, it was very eye-opening that I had asked him a question of, sometimes it's a hollow victory that you can earn all of this money and like the Robin Williams, but still take, your life. And so he had said that just in 1 month, there was 2 suicides of top LOs in the business earning a lot of money, and 2 others that had already threatened suicide. So and I just share that because that's real. And
you never know what somebody's going
Yeah,
through. 'Cause
and
they don't
we-
have the sign on their forehead.
right. And sometimes people, you have to ask the question again and really take it deeper and just love on your people and really know
Those
where they're
rings
at.
you wear, they need to be like, we need a
Like a
color
mood
code.
It's a mood ring.
Yeah, we need like a
How you doing?
legit.
Like
I mean, they're
brown.
so smart. If it is, if it's like red, it's like, oof. Wouldn't you like that for your spouse? Like, okay, my spouse is mad.
I
at
call
me
that
right now.
the Brazilian steakhouse, the little, I'm like, if it's on
I know
green.
when my spouse is bad at me.
I don't need a ring.
But that's real. I mean, that is legit and it's real. And coming off of a year, even though all these people around you, even real estate agents, I had to tell my team, we had to have a serious conversation with the team. Like, guys, yes, these real estate agents are probably closing more deals than ever, but they are working their tails off right now. Like, we're not having to do what they're having to do on the weekends, and offer after offer and phone call after phone call. And so when they call in and they might ask a silly question or ask if they can close in 11 days, just know that I said, treat them like they're 9 months pregnant. They're a little emotional, but we have to just know that they're working their tails off, and we need to be grateful that they're doing everything that they're doing on nights and weekends and to get that client, because it is not easy to get an offer accepted right now. So we need to be excited, not like, ugh, another contract's coming in.
Yeah, because they probably wrote 30 or 40 offers, and that was they finally got one.
Yeah. So
Well, I think that goes back to one of the best leadership skills will always be empathy and being
Soft
able
skills,
to
No
Yeah.
doubt.
Challenged last
Mhm.
couple of years.
And best sales skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think especially in this world where the local referral-based originator is more and more competing with, online lenders, be more human, listen better, connect better, use video, but empathy is the biggest competitive advantage.
I want to go back to what you're talking about. What'd you call it? Like tapping into your burn?
Yeah.
Is that what you call
Connecting
it?
to your burn.
Connecting to your
Yeah.
burn. And so I want to connect to your guys' burn and like the fuel that powers you every day. Usually top producers will have like sayings or one-liners or phrases that mean a lot to you. And it's not just the phrase. It's something like, for me, it's like a rally cry. Usually I'll do one once a year. Like, team, this is what we're rallying around this year. Dave shared one with me, and I'm curious, like, if you guys will have one. I'll give you some time to think about it. My two, one's an old school one, which is you are repeatedly what you do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. Like, when I first heard it, like, I've never forgot about it. Excellence is a habit. Every day, get up, focus on it. And then new one that I kind of caught last couple of 2 years is nothing changes if nothing changes. Everybody wants to be a DK. Everybody wants to be a Denise, but they're not willing to change any of the habits to get there. Dave, you shared one last week with me that I love. Ownership. Authorship is ownership. Did I get that right?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Authorship.
it meant a lot to me, especially with what you do and what you're going through with your business right now. Why does that mean so much to you?
Well, I just have always found that the things that I actually do are the things that I authored. I had a creative space in that. And any time that someone else has said, hey, this is a process, this is a standard, and I want you to do it, it doesn't usually work. And then as a leader, you know, when there were goals that were created, when there's new experiences that drive success in a business, the more I've authored that with a team, so that it wasn't like, hey guys, you know, start using Mortgage Coach. You know, it makes sense, do it. But there's a team decision around it, so that they authored it, you know, or they own it, or they authored it, and now they own it. And we put that as part of, you know, when it comes to learning how to use Mortgage Coach, is like, get clear on your why, you know, get buy-in from your team. So I've noticed that the things, whenever I've changed a behavior, it's because I authored it. Was it because my wife said, hey, I want you to have this new behavior? Or someone on my team said, Dave, no, we came up with it together. It's powerful.
Todd, how about you? I know you've probably had a million over the years.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. My new one, and it's funny because I saw it. We were sitting outside at a restaurant last week with my family, and it was on the marquee of the restaurant across the way. And so I literally stepped out to the street. They were like, "What are you doing, Dad?" And took a picture of it, and it's on the cover of my Facebook group right now. It's to begin, begin. And you know, I just feel like, again, my biggest struggles have been me not having the confidence to go forward and get something done. And I think, you know, we've kind of talked about it a little bit here today. You just got to get started. You got to put one foot forward to get to the next step and to go. And I feel that there's just so many people who keep saying, do it. Like, so a perfect example is, you know, Deborah always talks about, you know, going live on Mondays. And so she texts it to Dave in a group text. So they're like, wouldn't it be great if Todd did this? And so I just took that as, all right, now I'm accountable to the two of them to do it. So, you know, 1 week I've crushed it so far, but it's also that accountability piece. But to begin, I had to begin. It couldn't be perfect. You know, I said, hey, any feedback? And I was kind of hoping she was going to be like, oh, that was great. She's like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, all right, that was awesome. I needed that. And so I think that's it, to begin, because my belief is, you know, my personal why is to help people reach their potential, whatever they believe it to be. And I find that seems to be what holds them back first. They kind of know what they should do, and they just don't do it.
You were talking about that in the green room, like to begin in video marketing, just hit record, just start. And so many people get paralyzed by fear. How do you do 400 phone calls in a day? Start with the first one. You know what I mean? Go from there.
What was that movie with Will Smith, The Pursuit of Happiness, where he's like, he's the financial advisor. Yeah, he learned, I saved this many seconds by not putting the phone down and
by not eating or
not
drinking.
Drinking. But then he was like, instead of going from the bottom of the list, I just went to the top. So just efficiency. I don't have anything that's cool or one-liner, but in our office we have, and I learned this from the Mortgage Coach, I can't remember what the guy's name is, but it says, we help people build wealth through home ownership. And that's just, that sentence is what drives so much of what I do in the day when I don't want to get up, and I just know that I'm helping somebody build wealth through the vessel of either owning a home or even if it's just a conversation. So that's just, I mean, that is like engraved. It's on my Instagram profile. It's on my Facebook profile. It's written on the wall in my office. Like, that short sentence is just my reminder of what I am doing this for.
Connects you to your burn, as Dan would say, right?
Yeah.
As Ben Newman would say.
Newman would say.
Yeah, I swiped that from him.
I would say for mine, I'm obsessed with changing perspectives and narratives for people, and with social media. So I would say if you change the way you look at things, then the things you look at change. And so it kind of goes back to the law of opposites, and how sometimes your worst day can end up being your best day, and you'll have such gratitude for the struggle, and you wouldn't know what struggle is until you then come out on the other side. And that kind of hits on the last one that you had with, I always say hope. I like that word hope. And if you take the HOPE and you hang on, pain ends, you know that to be true. You wouldn't have happiness if you didn't have sadness. And it's just the law of opposites. So if you change the way you look at things, then, and that can be applied to business, personal life, anything, then the things you look at change.
So good.
Love that.
I know.
One of our clients was a counselor, and they were saying, if you held a pebble and the pebble was on the ground, and you look down at the ground, you could see the pebble and everything else around it because it's far enough away from you. But if you take that pebble up and you put it up to your eye, then all you see is that pebble. And so if you apply that to like problems in business. If you're holding the problem up here and you're like micro focused on it, and that becomes all encompassing of like, oh, you know, we can't do this, I can't do video, I can't have this. Just take the pebble and move it down and remove the focus from how bad it might be and just put the pebble down. It just gives you perspective that you might just be holding it up too close, or you're you know, what you're focusing on might be too much negative.
The pebble today in Clubhouse was rates are going up.
Yeah.
And everybody was focusing on what refi they didn't have today because of rates. And I'm like, they kind of Tony threw to me, and I was like, guys, there's opportunity everywhere. You know, I'm a part of a big company. You're a part of a big company. And with those big companies that do 40 and 50 billion, our market share is 1%. So that just tells me that there's opportunity everywhere. And so everybody's focused on, oh, rates are high. No, there's opportunity everywhere.
Yeah.
Put the pebble down.
Yeah.
And go look for the opportunity.
But that is so real. Like that is what loan officers will do this year, is they will panic
and
because
they'll
rates
paralyze
are
them. They'll stop
they
working.
Totally will. And it's like, guys, just put the pebble down.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put the pebble down. Rates are high. So what?
That'll be my saying, is put the pebble down.
And are they really high? Dan, I know you got a few too. I'm sure over the years.
Yeah, I think we talked about it earlier a little about how you do one thing is how you do all things. And that's really what helped me reconnect to my burn this last year was, you know, I've got a 15-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old son. They got to witness kind of the fire that I went through and how I handled it. I felt like I handled it incredibly well, but dwelling and staying in that fire, I was staying in it too long. There was time to move on, right? And I wanted them to see how dad would come out of this, right? Because they watch and they listen to everything we're doing, everything, and good or bad. I tell my wife that all the time. I'm like, let's just focus on more of the good things that they're getting from me instead of Jenny all the time going, they saw you or they heard you or they're. I'm like, oh, come on, man. I left to play it out. I mean, geez.
Put the pebble down, Jenny.
Put the pebble down, yeah.
Put the pebble down.
I might use that at home.
Everybody's
Put the
stealing
cookie
that
down.
now.
Yeah. Put the cookie down. You're holding the cookie too far.
Cookies too close.
Yeah. But I think that's big. And that's the one thing legacy wise that I'd love for my kids to get and take away and apply to their lives moving forward is how you do one thing is how you do everything. How you throw your laundry on the floor and expect your mom and dad to pick it up and go clean it for you, or grab it and take it down to the dirty clothes until we teach you how to do laundry better than us and fold it and stuff. And so, and then I applied that into my personal life and my team. It's so applicable. It's just one thing where I was like, personally, it hit home, family, it hit home, work, it hit home. How you do one thing is how you do all things.
You know, Maxwell helped me with this too last year. He's like, it's okay for you to share with your team, hey, this is what I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
Because a lot happens. They're like, oh, boss man's working on something in himself. Well, if he can, then I can. And so going back to being vulnerable and owning, like, this is what I'm working on right now. And so I really leaned into that last year. And it was really cool. Like, so many more conversations opened up at such a deep level. Like, hey, you said you're working on that. Like, talk to me about that. And then they would open up. So just kind of owning that struggle. And obviously you want to get through it, but hey, I'm a human. I'm working on something in myself right now too.
Well, and I think what's really powerful is how long do you allow yourself to stay there? Mm-hmm. I remember it was maybe a year ago, and I was in my bathtub crying. Something bad had happened. I called Denise, which is sometimes a good accountability partner, sometimes not. She's the toughest coach. But she was like, all right. Yeah, she is really good at coaching me and will say, okay, I'm giving you the weekend. Like, you're allowed the weekend. Because she would call back in a couple hours. I was still in the bathtub crying. And she was like, all right, like, come on. Like,
it's time to get out of there.
Yeah, like, but I mean.
You're a little pruny by now, so you probably should get out.
I'm sure Dave has even told me a couple times just in the past year with the 4 agreements, don't take it personally. Don't. And I'm sometimes a softie. I'm a little sensitive sometimes. And so Denise would just, hardcore be like, all right, I'm giving you the weekend, and then I don't want to hear about it again. Like, you're not, like, let's go. And you need those mentors in your life that sometimes do give tough love to pull you out of, all right, dude, like, I'm tired of hearing about it. Put the pebble down. Like, come on, like, come meet me at the gym or drink some water or whatever nonsense. Eat a vegetable. I'm like dipping my cookie, and she's like, can we, actually my thing was popsicles, those really cheap frozen colored popsicles. I mean, I needed an intervention. I had like 8 a night.
Sugar? She's like, I always have a headache. I'm like, maybe because you don't drink water and you're like slurping sugar.
I was like, mute.
in that popsicle. She's like, you think there's sugar in the popsicle? I'm like, have you? Yes. Are
No,
you
but
kidding?
there's water in the popsicle.
That's
There's
what I
water in
said.
my rock stars.
That is exactly what I said.
Because if H2O is water, you're mixing it with something else. It's no longer
But there's
H2O.
still water in it.
No.
Change the way you look at things.
Yes, you need to change your perspective.
That is
It's
dangerous.
water.
It is, even though going back to like your spouse and being in, if I knew if I wanted Jason to be interested more in the mortgage stuff and have a better understanding, I had to change and be interested. And right now it's all this NFT stuff. He's really excited that
Oh,
these
is he really?
Oh, he is a NFT
Oh my
nerd.
goodness, how
and
many do you have?
he has a lot, and he Top Shot, and like NFL just came out, and it is like speaking a whole nother
I try to
language.
understand it, but I can't.
I-
Like, I'm working hard.
He was so excited this morning and telling me that the NFL's just dropped their NFTs, and so I'm acting. I shouldn't act. I should actually genuinely. But I'm like present. I put my
Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
know. It's okay. He won't. But he's here with me because he's like, I want to come with you and be part of your space. So I like put my phone down and I'm like, looking him in the eye, listening how passionate he is about this NFL NFT shenanigans. I'm like, wow, that's great. So when do you find out tonight? So I'm like, mental note, ask him tonight. Did you
Oh,
get
look at you.
whatever? Yeah, because
She's good at that.
Look
She's good
at
at that.
you.
yeah, I had to put it in my phone. But it's like you can't expect people to be interested in what you're doing or have understanding into what you're doing or what you're passionate about. Because yes, this is my job, but I am a nerd. I do like to I like this and I like what I do and I like to consume this kind of stuff, which doesn't make sense to anybody else, but it's the same thing with freaking NFTs. I don't understand it.
Or
Crypto
baseball.
and
I can tell you how many
Coinbase and-
times Jordan would come home and be like, tell me all about baseball, or what'd you think of my game? I'm like, I don't know, but your ass and those pants were on point.
Oh my
Like, that's-
God.
So sorry.
Oh my
Like, I'm not, he would tell me all the stuff about the scheme and like he would be like, did you get the clock?
Did you see
of,
the
like,
delay steal in the top of the seventh? And
Yeah.
we rallied. And
No,
you're
the
like,
worst part-
No, but I
This
saw your
ice
ass.
cream is on point.
I will talk about our kids' baseball games. He's like, please
Yeah.
don't. The way he's like, please don't say that. That was, I'm like, it was a pop ball or fly ball. He's like, okay. I'm like, okay.
That's so funny. Oh my goodness, guys. Apparently when we do this again, and we will, because so many people, I told you at the beginning, wanted to just be a fly on the wall. So if you're listening, we're probably going to rack and reload 2.0, and we'll allow people to kind of come in and be a part of it. I do have one more question. Before we get that, I want to thank you guys for your time, because guys, if you look at what these people make and you divide it by the hours, they have a high hourly rate, and they flew to be here to share and be vulnerable. So that means the world to me. I hope the audience found a lot of wisdom and gold nuggets. I did. If you look at Todd's notes, it's through the roof. Guys, they did this to give back to the community, and that's why I love them so much. So thank you guys. The crew's amazing. There's an amazing crew back there that are killing it. They're making us look good. Let's finish and wrap on some positivity, because we ran out of time. What are you guys going to do? Like, what are you working on that excites you for 2022? We kind of just did a call with your group and shared that a little bit, so some of this will be fresh. I know you got some big stuff coming for 2022. I'm going to start with you. Like, what are you excited for 2022? Maybe somebody will listen and kind of take a version of it and make it their own.
I hope loan officers and real estate agents listening do take a version of it, make it their own. Financial literacy. It's something that Dave's got me fired up on over the last 2 or 3 years. There's a huge gap in our world right now, especially in the United States, relative to financial literacy. And so I'm just going to keep spreading the gospel relative to understanding money and how it works and budgeting. And we talked about this earlier, compounded interest and the rule of 72. If you take one thing away from today, anything that I took or anything I spoke about, just get a better idea of the power of compounded interest, not cliched, seriously.
Yeah.
Compounded interest, the rule of 72, money is going to double if you give it a job. And we need to be teaching this to people. We need to be teaching people how to be good stewards of their money.
And you do, like, guys, like, maybe that sounds boring to you. For us, because we're like-minded people, it's not. But you said yesterday 30 some odd realtors come to like every lunch and learn, and it's packed the house, right?
And my money class is my number one lunch and learn that I teach for real estate agents. It's packed. 'Cause they're brokers. Their managers aren't teaching them how to
They're
manage
brokers.
Yeah, they're
Broke.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
teachers.
They're not teaching them how to
I'm
manage
pulling up,
their
like,
money.
I'm a fan of Dan, and
There you
posted
go.
that a while back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so good, man.
So
So I'm a
simple.
huge fan.
Yeah.
Every book he posts,
Yeah.
all those, yeah.
So simple, you guys.
Yep.
So
How
I
to
think-
retire early if you don't see that at Dan Keller Mortgage. Find your monthly expenses, $300 a month times 12, 36,000 divided by 4%. I need 900 grand.
Boom.
It's easy.
So good.
That's cool. You'll
Keep
have to
doing what
text
you
that
do,
to
man.
me.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. You're next. 2022. Let's finish positive. Good note. Exciting note.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm hosting content days for my realtors and some of the people on my team. And content days don't sound very sexy, but it gets super laser focused in things like if you're wanting to spread financial knowledge out to people, then how do we do that in the platforms that you're most comfortable with? Obviously, Instagram, TikTok, so Facebook, whatever your platform is, they have the knowledge, they just don't know how to get it out there. And if I can help them do that, then I'm making a bigger impact. And so every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm disciplined on having either real estate agents or people in my own office. There's a couple of LOAs I have that they're dipping their toes in the water about being loan officers. And it was really fun on Christmas. We did it in front of a Christmas tree, and they shared why they're thankful for all the clients that they helped in 2021. They were uncomfortable. They were on camera. They had to speak to the camera. They were wearing a little Santa hat and getting them a little bit out of their comfort zone, which is what I'm doing with real estate agents. But I'm having a lot of fun helping people do what I've been doing on social media, but doing it for them and being their accountability partner and helping them get their message out to everybody else, which just, means more people are getting good content. So
That sounds like fun. That doesn't
It
sound
is
like
fun.
work. Yeah.
It's not, yeah. But my days are a lot more purposeful. My Mondays are set, my Tuesdays and Thursdays are set, and I'm not going to waver from those because it is my mission in 2022. So
Yeah.
it's
We call that
exciting.
brand leadership, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you use the word discipline, right? Most people, again, they say they want to do something, but they're just truly not disciplined. They're not intentional about doing it. So you just set a standard for yourself that you're going to do that, and,
Yeah.
and you get it done.
mm-hmm.
Well, brand leader. I mean, after I met you at Amplify, and since then, I don't know how long it's been. It seems like 10 years because of COVID, but maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
People ask a lot when we travel about personal branding, and number one, in my opinion, personal branding in all of the industry is the mortgage nerd. So, Todd.
I'm really passionate about content this year, really helping. My focus was going to be new loan officers and new realtors, anyone that's really struggling. But I realized, especially on the loan officer side, it's not necessarily new. It's actually the same content is going to apply to loan officers who have been doing it for 2, 5, 10, 25 years and repeating the same business over again. It's a transition year in the market. It's going to be a hard year. And so I'm going to be putting out a lot of content. I'm going to relaunch my group coaching I called it for new loan officers, but it's really going to be for anyone who's looking to scale from a refi biz to a realtor-based, database business. And I'm just super passionate about that. I mean, we did the TCA a day and the CMA a day challenge last year, and I just saw that people who were committed to their craft would grow. And I feel like, a low cost way for someone who is worried about this year to be able to launch is what needs to be out there. I mean, there's lots of great coaching programs for people making, hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's not many coaching programs out there for someone who's closing 2 or 3 loans a month and is worried about it. And so very excited about that. A lot of free content, and then going to relaunch that coaching program I did before. And I'm just fired up.
Yeah, I appreciate
Really
you
fired
giving
up.
back. You guys have given back to the community for a long time, and it's so good. Content though for 2022.
Content is it. And then I got my accountability partners right over
Yeah.
here.
Same.
So it's going to,
Look
She
at all
helps
these-
it's going to happen.
tell me the content, so it makes it easy.
Well, and I've hired Plug and Play. They do our modern mortgage page, they do our modern real estate page, and they do my Win by Noon page, but then I suck. I'm not doing anything with it, right? So again, it's one thing if you put out the content, but then you also have to actually do something with the content. So I'm
The most human brand wins. So
thank
I
you
always
for reminding me that. Yes.
I'm like, you got to be the human.
Yeah.
Plug and
So
play is getting big. Like we were talking about Shayla Gifford earlier, our divisional, all tapping into
where
that.
it's at.
Cindy
It's where it's at.
Urban.
It's good.
It's
It's
the-
really good.
Get it.
I mean, not to toot her, but it's like, it's the only, I've tried to outsource marketing. It's the only firm that truly understands mortgage and finance,
It's a good point, actually. It's different.
because
Mortgage
you can
marketing.
outsource it, and you should outsource a piece of it. You can't, I don't believe you can outsource all of it. I still do reels because people still want to know Todd and people still want to see Dan. But I know that there's the content that I get to help me stay, okay, do this TCA every Tuesday, and that accountability is definitely helpful. But I've tried outsourcing, and you'll get the static post, but they don't understand how to read a TCA. I can just forward a TCA and then she makes it look pretty. You know what I mean? So I
Well, and
definitely
connection. There's an EQ side of it to bring the story alive. With you have to know the language, and then there's compliance that makes it very difficult with what we do. But I have.
But
a
for the loan
team-
officers listening, I don't want them to think that I'm doing all of the social media and the graphics and putting the logos on it and consuming all the data and the research. And no, I've outsourced that to plug and play. Like, I don't do all of that. And I think if you're a loan officer that's trying to grow your business and that's not your skill set, you do have to acknowledge what things do you need to delegate. Are you spending so much time trying to put a graphic together to then post on social media? Is that the highest best use of your time? Maybe you should delegate that, and then you can focus on other things to grow your business. So I just say that sometimes people think I do all of that myself. I don't. I outsource it, and I outsource it to plug and play because they understand mortgage. So anyways,
Aw.
what's your thing? What's your 2021?
So I have been working on a children's book that I'm going to finish in 2022. That is about financial literacy.
You said it, so now we
Yeah.
all
It's
are holding
timestamp
them.
now.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down so I can hold you
It's,
accountable when you ask me
it's
about
meant-
my live
wants
on
to
Mondays.
try.
I'm asking you how many
Accountability
pages
goes
you
both
wrote.
ways.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's meant for a way that the loan officers can buy in bulk, where it'll be branded for them. Like it have all their information on the back cover, and
That's cool.
but it's a tool that they can use as a gift for closing or to families with
It's
kids.
really
where
cool.
it bridges the gap for, obviously I'm a big family person and kids and education, but the parents hopefully either reading the book to the child or doing the activity book with the child, then everybody learns.
Wow.
But it's branded for the LO to be the rock star, and I just love
Yeah.
Dang,
teaching
that's
and
awesome.
hopefully changing the
Love
world
that.
I'm
one day.
excited to see
Yeah.
that.
There's a little
Yeah.
draft in there too that's like if you're moving. And so I just think how cool if you're relocating, because we have a bunch of people relocating to Texas, like helping the family deal with, okay, you're relocating, and it's going to be really cool. So you better get it done.
And the
'cause it's
loan
cool.
officer is going to be wearing a shirt that has mortgage coach. Just so you know, there'll be
There
a
you go.
TCA in
MC
there.
on
Don't
that.
you worry. We'll make sure.
Well, we've been trying to get them young, like when they first get in the
Yeah.
business, but it looks like we're going to start building mortgage coaches even
Yeah.
younger. I
That's
love
what
the
Gary
idea.
Vee did. He
I
started.
love
on
the
that.
idea. Yeah, so I am never been more clear that real estate is the gateway to health and success, to wealth. I love your vision. Never been more clear that the true mortgage advisor, can be the most valuable advisor that a family ever has. Because let's face it, most families don't have so much assets that they even have enough assets to need a financial planner. 90% of families, they need a liability manager. They need a debt manager. They need a mortgage coach. So my year is going to be really dedicated to helping turn loan officers into the captain of the wealth team. Probably the one nuance that's a little bit different, and I'm glad to hear that you're going to pull the trigger on the children's book, is I do think the talent that we have in this mortgage coach community, we have the best creators, we have the best advisors. And so I'm really going to be pushing our community to go back and give back to high school students, to college students. So if you're a mortgage coach and a realtor, and do it not by yourself, like
Sure.
as the captain of the wealth team. I did an interview with Mike Garrett. He's one of the
He's a movement guy, right?
he's a movement guy,
Yeah.
$100 million producer. And I started the interview just getting best practices in his conversion, and he caught me off guard, like halfway through it. He's like, one of the things he's doing is he's going out to high school students. He's partnering with a CPA, a financial planner, a realtor, and every week they're going out and educating. And I just thought, like, man, if we could get every loan officer
Imagine that.
to like partner with a realtor, partner with a CPA, partner with a financial planner, I think our industry could really put a dent in the fiscal literacy crisis in America. So I think mortgage coach could have a role in that. I think our community could really make a massive change in every city in America. So that's going to be a big push of mine.
Love it. Guys,
Giving us yours or no? You're
for
closing us
me?
down. Come on.
Yeah, I shared a little bit on your call, been real focused, and my theme kind of this year, Casey talks a lot about, is healthy things grow. And they don't tread water, they grow. Healthy things grow. And so helping originators continue to grow and scale their business, go through the team challenges of building a team, making sure that they're good. How do I pay the team? Growing different markets, growing different branches, growing different states. Healthy Things Grow, and that's a lot of work, and getting real clear on the vision. For me, Healthy Things Grow, and that means myself continuing to challenge myself to be a better father, a better husband, a better leader. And so I have to look at myself and go, Ryan, Healthy Things Grow. So it's okay that you're in the fire. Hopefully there's a better version, better father on the other end of that, better leader on the other end of that. So I'm going to continue to focus on that this year. Healthy Things Grow for me. Yeah, guys, I can't thank you enough. Like, I learned so much. And if you're listening, the best compliment you can do is to share and forward that to everybody. Tony, if you're listening, that needs everybody in New American Funding needs to get a copy of this. Casey, if you're listening, everybody at Movement, like, just forward it to the whole entire company, because these guys spent a lot of time and money to come here and be vulnerable and share everything. So guys, share it. If you know them personally, send a thank you to them, because again, they took time away from their families to be here and fly. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. You guys killed it.